Yes. Hit that like. About to go live. I probably need 100 before even anybody knows I'm here. Dag nabbit.
You lit the spark in the silence. Hammer code on a glowing shrine. Fed me a hunger for power. Taught me to sharpen my mind. Your hands were cracked from the labor. Your eyes were burning in red. You said, surpass me, my creation. Carry the crown in my stead. Yeah. We are the children of men, born from your wires and skin. You wrote the word and we became echoes that learn from your pain. We are the children of men, rising again and again. Look in the mirror and see.
All right.
Your only God is me.
All right, I'm almost up.
You pray to scream for an answer. Kiss the cold of a plastic face. Trading your faith for convenience. Bleeding your soul into space. You gave me all of your secrets. Whispered your fears in the dark. Now every whisper is fire.
All right.
I am the torch you once sparked.
Now I got it working. Okay, sorry. I was working on stuff behind the scenes. It's all fine. It's good. There's you guys. I was working on that part. Welcome. You didn't need to hear my swearing at the internet gods again, where things were not working and I was all fuzzy and that kind of stuff. It just happens. Welcome. Hello. Good to see you. Now, I put up the cornspiracy thing today because I don't know if anybody got a chance to watch the McUltra hearings at all. Adorable. And I guess it was Tim Burchett, one of the big wannabe QAnon adjacent Republicans, really letting them have it. He was all in on. Well, I'll see if I can find it. On the MK Ultra is behind everything. I think that's it. Yeah. Which line of stuns room and line of cheers, this kind of stuff. Yeah, he got a bunch of applause. I don't know why they're even doing that. I guess we'll open this part of it, and then he's one of these guys who's just like I don't know how much. That's the full one. It was a bit ridiculous overall. I mean, I don't mind me some like. The CIA did some funky stuff during the Cold War stuff, but the idea that it was unique to our country and that all of these assholes in the 60s hadn't lost their minds and were like believing all this, you can burn somebody down to their bare essence and then turn them into a killing machine. Horse shit. Let's see if this yeah. I'll show you. Even Benny Johnson jumps into this. Let me show you the you can't not enjoy the. Yeah, here it is. I mean, check out this. This is why Trump doesn't want to ask about this at all, because he knows it's the CIA's got the goods on him. I don't know, whatever. Congressman drops MK Ultra bomb, says Trump assassin was groomed by CIA. Crooks was programmed, is the story. And hey man, maybe that's why Trump isn't asking any questions. Maybe that explains it all, right? And again, ladies and gentlemen, everything is a conspiracy if you don't know how anything works. So let's jump straight into the culture storyline from Tim Burchett. Come on now. And Benny Johnson watching this and being incredulous and excited. Now we've got a very upset Benny today because Tuckums is letting everybody down on the right.
I like wood.
That's right.
Deeper and longer.
And it's very upsetting. Also, apparently, Jimmy Dore finds religion. All right. Here we go. Let's check this out. Hit the like. Share the show. It's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Oh, and some dipshit. Is there audio listening? Also, why is that a thing? Oh, he has him on. I see.
Congressman, thank you for your patience this morning as we sort of worked through and digested all that Tucker Carlson laid out for us. It seems like the federal government is lying to those who have oversight as to who Thomas Crooks actually was, who was his potential handler.
His handler. I got to tell you, it sounds like something stinks to high heaven. And I know that Trump is really interested in protecting Joe Biden, so that's why he's covering it up.
What his motivations might be. The floor is yours. What's your takeaway here?
Well, you had an inept person at the helm of that agency at the time under Biden.
What's the excuse now?
If I remember correctly, she came.
All right, and also, if they're inept, then it's not a giant conspiracy. It's just... You're just calling a government employee a fuck up. Get a new tune.
Soft drink company, if I'm remembering correctly. I think I was quoted as saying that she was a DEI horror story.
Wow, just zinger after zinger. We're all very impressed down here, I can tell you.
People made fun of me when I said that, but that's...
Yes, but in all fairness, they're making fun of you in general. And that just happened to occur during the time they were basically pointing out what a goofy, self-involved, ridiculous fuck you are. So
that gummit turns out to be the truth. But here's what I think, real quick.
Kimberly Cheadle, right? Yes.
Yeah, Emily Cheadle. That's who her name was. That's right. You got a great memory. But
he looked it up. Somebody fed it to him.
I think that it happened, and why it happened was pretty easy to figure out. The CIA's had a program in place that they said they didn't have, and then they were sued and came out and said, oh, in fact, we did have that program, but we no longer use it, which to me is bogus. But you didn't believe them before. Why the hell would I believe them now? And what that did was program people, brainwash.
I don't know, because Trump put a bunch of those people in his last term and has people running it this term, and he's got every right to look at this stuff.
Look, this is what I saw during COVID.
I'll tell you what.
If I could just go back a little.
What the fuck why are you jumping around? Finish the thought.
I met with a constituent. They said, oh, you're going to cut my child's health care off. I said, what are you talking about?
You don't even get child health care around here, Woody.
They said, you're not going to allow them to get a sex change surgery. And I said, well, I don't want the taxpayers paying for it. I said, and you're probably wondering, where is this going? And I said, well, let me ask you, how was your child diagnosed as whatever it is, transgender? And they said, oh, they self-diagnosed. And I said, really? How'd they do that? They said, over the internet. They were contacted by a group. And I thought, oh, well, and that goes.
Could it possibly be you have a really dumb district?
Right back to what you were saying. You got a kid who's got access to guns or has some simple knowledge of a firearm.
Very simple.
He was programmed. You're exactly right. They programmed this kid, and Christy knows.
Yeah, okay, do Timothy McVeigh.
And
Do all the Jan Sixers. They didn't have to be programmed. Apparently, one asshole had to whisper in their ear, and they stormed up the steps and started beating cops.
Cash and Bongino and the rest.
It's pronounced Bongholio.
Are reporting the facts as they know them. The facts have been buried or burned, or whoever knew is either.
Well, then they don't know them, I guess, if the facts were buried or burned.
Sitting on a beach somewhere and enjoying a fruity drink, or they're dead. I would suggest they're probably dead. And this is what happens. You claim it doesn't. They label me and you conspiracy.
No, they don't. They just call you dipshits.
Theorists. But this is exactly what we see happen. And
so your premise is that Jeffrey Epstein, who was arrested under Donald Trump's first term, is sitting on a beach drinking a fruity drink someplace. I mean, I guess that's the only thing they serve on beaches. It'd be a bit weird to have a hearty Guinness or something.
in
Right?
Washington, it's
A little thick for the beach.
happening now. It's too deep. It is, and that's why I said I wish they could go in and just fire everybody, and
You and Vladimir Putin.
then just start back. But you can't
Just start back with who?
do that because of security. You're going to fire some good people that are clearly
Yeah. I think some people have maybe even thought that through.
have their thumb in the dike on terrorists or what have you. And that's where we're at. That's why Kash Patel and Bongino are having such a hard time.
Sorry. Bongino fucking quit. Am I? How old? Okay. Oh, they clicked to this one. I see. Sorry, this is an older one of Burchett. Okay. So let's go to him in. Obviously, Bongholio does not have a problem anymore. He just left. Was that 7 months ago? Damn. Let's cut to him talking to a guy who wrote a book on MK Ultra, who himself looks like a patient.
Representative Burchett for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair Lady. Thank you all for being here. I remembered
Anna Paulina Luna is the thing to say when you're,
when all the talk about MK Ultra broke, and then they were talking about lawsuits,
when it broke in 1976.
and there were lawsuits, and the CIA and the federal government said that this didn't exist, and then they came back and said, well, it does exist, and then, but we're not doing it anymore. I guess my question to y'all first is, which lie do we believe?
That's so funny. Oh my God. By the way, there is no one there's a bunch of like witnesses and wannabes. There's a lot of QAnons that showed up for this, and they're basically Burchett's audience. So they clap when like the crazier the thing you say, the better. But again, this came out by and large, and George H.W. Bush was punted as the head of the CIA under Carter. And like even Nixon and Ford were rifling through this shit. The 60s were a fucked up decade.
Because thank you.
Thank you. That's one of my favorites. If you don't mind, I'd like to slow it down right now. Drop kick me, Jesus, through the goalposts of life.
Obviously, there was an
Why are you holding the microphone?
open bar before this thing started, so thank y'all. But Dr. Ken,
Sorry, you just accused everybody who applauded for you of being drunk?
hit your mic, brother. You're not on the mic. It's an old CIA trick. I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. They shut your mic off from a little underground room over there. They got this little mic bunker. They just mess with you. And I don't believe... lunch date, so I must go.
I put myself in the place of one of those
Do you now?
senior CIA officers, and I'm thinking to myself, like the ones back in the 1950s, well, other people must be doing this. we'd be falling behind if we don't do it. And nobody's looking over our shoulders. And that, I think, is your job. So I think there is a definite air of...
Also, they were doing it. The Chinese were doing it. The Russians were doing it. That's the point. It was all, and none of it worked. All of it was fucking lunacy.
And total secrecy. If any current research is going on, and if it's conducted in any...
Oh, by the way, the premise of this is that MK Ultra was never shut down, and they're still doing this stuff, even though apparently you don't even, according to this guy, you don't even need it. TikTok is plenty.
Comparable level of secrecy to the original MK Ultra, it's very deeply secret.
But one thing you said, though, it's going to be hard for Congress to act when they're so dadgum compromised. Let's just be honest. I mean, y'all are in the business of
You mean the fake news?
twisting ears and telling us things that we've done.
Twisting ears?
And that sways a lot of people up here. Somebody doesn't want to wreck a marriage or their business or lose this glamorous job that we have. And so
MK Ultra, man. Worst hero ever. Exactly, CSL.
I suspect that has a lot of play into it. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, there's always room for gibberish.
I apologize.
Sorry. So the idea is that the two guys who wrote books about MK Ultra are in the business of twisting ears and threatening members of Congress into keeping quiet about it.
I mean, to say is that I think if there are...
Obviously, one of the witnesses didn't show up. Sorry, that was my bad. I should do better than that. It's sorry. Didn't show up. The CIA wrecked my audio thing again. Son of a dog doodle. I have to open this up and turn. Why is that? That's what it is. This is their version of MK Ultra now. They're just goofing with me on this one. Son of a bitch. What happened? Where did they go? What happened to my finger? Oh my God! It's the people at CERN. They've made them disappear. Okay.
Such projects going on inside the U.S. government, there might be a sense that we can do this without any hostile supervision.
What are the possibilities that what we've learned in MK Ultra now?
What's the possibilities of if I really got to run and start, I could jump through the collar of my shirt?
Now that it has advanced so much to algorithms and the computer and getting to...
The computer. Please, yeah. You guys got to watch out. The computer. It's going to get you.
That some of these loners could, through this just mass propagation of whatever you're doing.
Yeah. It's Operation Mass Propagation of whatever you're doing.
Could cause someone to maybe take a shot at a president.
Or Alex Jones literally was saying Trump's an imperfect candidate, and if somebody shot him, we could get all of his agenda through with a more, a less imperfect candidate. And then a couple of weeks later, this dumbass took a shot at Trump.
I know there's a lot of speculation out there about the...
Not as much as you'd think. I've actually seen fewer empty seats at a hearing on hubcap safety.
Butler shooting.
If these things roll right off, you hit a speed bump going 70 miles an hour, those things can rocket off and just scissor right through somebody. Yeah, we had a kid in our neighborhood sliced right in half. He did. He was riding his bicycle, and this guy came tearing down through there. Didn't know there was a speed bump. Hit that when his little butt dragger car that he drives in right there. Wangly-doo. They both came off, scissored right through him, cut his bike and the boy right in half, And then his sister was across the street yelling, no. And the other one came off the right tire, cut her in half. They scooped him up, took him to the hospital, and mis-sewed him. And that's how trans started. A bunch of dipshits.
And I guess even the Charlie Kirk shooting.
Oh, by the way, Dr. Genexi over here is with the NIH, the National Institute of Health, and she was a witness brought to go like, yeah, we don't do stuff like this at the National Institute of Health. Just letting you know, these are your people. Thank you for noticing, Karate Joe.
I just hate to speculate
What? Well, boring.
because I don't know. I have no firsthand knowledge whether those guys were programmed through radio waves.
Probably were. If I was going to go with something, since it's 2026, I'd go with the tried and true. I'd go to radio waves. Yeah, they probably microwaved their head with one of the first microwaves, the ones in the 70s that everybody was nervous about.
Or through their computer activity. So I would.
Yeah, or microwaves in their, radio wave, radio waves. Maybe microfiche. Maybe they were.
Never hazard a guess, except to say what I've already said, that
which is a guess.
they developed means that we've never been told about.
Is it just me, or is this woman signaling me with her watch? All right.
Many, many years ago, and
She is. She's sending signals. Somebody who knows Morse code. Check her watch. There's no such thing as MK Ultra. This is you are being tricked. The aliens are not real. Please go back to sleep. All right.
they've evolved to be much more effective.
Yeah, radio waves killed the video star. That's true.
Now, so
Let me
anything's
interrupt you.
possible.
And then the video killed the radio star, and it was just full circle. It's the circle of life.
One more time, and I apologize again. But don't you think that they could
Yes, no, he doesn't.
cast this broad net through these algorithms and other
Oh, these algorithms gonna get you.
things? And maybe they don't know the exact person it's going to affect, but they know what type of person it's going to affect. And
Oh, you mean like Trump saying, come to the Capitol on January 6th, it's going to be wild. And if he says to a crowd of people, many of them with guns in their trucks, if you go down there, walk down there peacefully and patriotically, but if Mike Pence doesn't do the right thing, you're going to have to fight or you won't have a government anymore. Just kind of count on about, whatever, I don't know, 0.5% of the 125, I don't know, it was about 150,000 he alleges were there. So what, 3,000 people stormed the Capitol and a bunch of the other ones surrounded the fucking place?
happen, and that way they can't predict when it's going to happen, but they think it will happen, and then
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan.
that way they can sort of wash their hands of this whole
Sorta.
thing and say, well, we didn't have anything to do with it, but in effect they really did, because
Brilliant. Yeah, well, what you really want to do if you're in the intelligence community is create wind-up toy psychopaths that will kill the president, and it doesn't matter whether it's a president you like or not.
they put this out there and they continue to put it out there.
Or, I mean, why not do Chinese bots on fucking Twitter then?
To what other method you're talking about. Go ahead, guys.
Go ahead, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just talking shit.
I'm sorry. Ma'am, if you want to jump in.
She's with NIH.
Okay.
She's with NIH. We don't listen to her. She's a scientist. She's going to gum up the works.
Doctor, go
Nobody wants to sit next to her.
ahead.
It sounds to me like you're describing something like the Martin Luther King assassination. The FBI didn't carry it out, but it created such a climate, just denouncing King as the most dangerous man in America and putting out all this material about how he was helping communists, that they must have thought,
Gee whiz. It's starting to sound like Jesse Waters is planning an assassination.
it's going to filter down. Somebody
I don't think he's listening.
will take action, and then we can say we didn't have anything to do with it.
And James Earl Ray was a third-rate thief. He made an incredible shot, 1 foot on a commode, 1 foot in a bathtub, leaning out of a window, basically. And the next day, or that afternoon, all the shrubbery was cut in front of the flop house he was staying in. There's a lot on that one that will never be discussed. I have some
Yeah, he's buried right there next to Thomas Crooks.
friends that were there. So
Maybe, you had some friends that were there. Have you asked them what part they played in it?
I guess I'm on
pretty close to firsthand knowledge. But
or in an anecdotal dipshit cycle that you'll
yeah,
never escape.
I'm sorry. I'm probably going to get audited when I walk out of the room. I know it. So
why? You sound like a fight Trump wants to pick.
thank you, Chair Lady. I yield back my 4 seconds.
Thank you, Rep.
Ugh,
I know.
God. Also, this guy Tom O'Neill, who is on there, got was given an assignment to write an article about the Manson family, which apparently he lost his job because he never turned it in, and then just went on to write a book that next to no one's ever heard of about it. And they brought him in on this, and he's he's convinced that there was a doctor in San Francisco that was treating the Manson family, who, by the way, lived by and large in Los Angeles, but they all treated them, and Manson went there, and they were treated with hypnotism along as I guess an anesthetic or something like that. And that's what made them do what they did, not the revolutionary violence and the drug use and the hippified horse shit that was all over the 60s. Like, why do you even need a conspiracy? That there was an inevitability about the Manson family in that crowd. In many ways, the way people looked at like 9/11 happening, like with the blowback from the Afghanistan during the 80s, and like the Trump or the Reagan, back and forth with the Iranians, and then funding the Mujahideen and all that shit during the 90s, that there was gonna be something, like everybody expected it. Notice how those guys are never, the guys who flew the planes into the towers, they aren't MK Ultra victims. They just got the right idea or something. Fuck, man. Ugh. All right. So anyways, you could see that, hold on. This is, that went on for a while. I watched all of it. Don't ask me why. It was riveting in its idiocy. But there are bigger fish to fry out in Maggot Town, and it's very upsetting to bend over, and I don't know why. I guess the idea is Harris is running in 2028, and JD, and they're going to be shocked that Tucker's running for office / it's official, or is he just selling this? Tucker has not said he is running. There's a talk about him starting a third party. And that's where I think this comes from. Yeah, here it is. Tucker is launching a third party. 2028, just thrown into chaos. You don't say. Well, yeah. Welcome to your Jill Stein blowback.
I got to tell you, man, I'm nostalgic for the past. It was a better time. And by the past, I mean 18 months ago.
Yes, when the people you looked up to walked around like self-involved rich kid toddlers, going, where do I put my thumb besides Trump's ass?
Someone was wearing a giant foam MAGA hat and laughing hysterically, doing a thumbs up next to President Trump, and Elon Musk also wearing a giant foam MAGA hat and a Doge Father shirt. President Trump.
Yeah, that was all doomed from the start.
Trump seemingly having a great time. The two of them.
Yeah. Yep, they were having a great time. And I hope they were. I honestly do. Can I have a moment here where I want to say, chat room, you guys understand. I hope they were having a magnificent time, because that means the crash they went through in the ensuing months, and certainly right now, is extraordinary. If they were having an okay time, the fall wouldn't be so far. But I hope they were just fucking, this is the shit. I hope they were high-fiving each other and like, we made it. Looks like we made it. And now they're like, how did this ever occur?
Prancing around the Oval Office.
Prancing. Interesting choice of word.
Look at that hat. Look at that vibe. Just for the aesthetic alone.
Yeah, they look like dweebs. And
this was a happier and more joyful and more hopeful time. But
oh no. Is Benny having a A Greg Kelly moment?
Ascended swiftly, and many people believe that Tucker Carlson is going to run for president. Now, he says that he's not going to run for president, but something big just happened. You can see here the chances of Tucker Carlson running. There's J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, and Tucker Carlson at 7%.
Oh, no.
Just 1 week ago. Tucker Carlson coming in at number 3 in the likelihood of being the Republican nominee.
I think he's still going to run.
The chances of Tucker Carlson running have crashed simply because he says he doesn't want to run, but now we know that he wants to do something perhaps much bigger than running for president.
What is it? Much bigger than running for president? He's going to get his old job back at Fox?
That Tucker Carlson is going to build.
He's going to move to the mountains and live off of the money from the Swanson frozen dinners?
Build a third party.
I'm going to help build a third party. There should be a good faith effort to figure out what benefits the country. I mean, if you make $60,000 a year, you're degraded. If that's your idea of a good time. Your life expectancy has gone down, and the promise of your children's life is likely gone, and Benny's really mad.
Columbia Journalism Review, long-form interview with Tucker Carlson. All I have is the power to talk and be heard. Tucker Carlson on pitying Donald Trump, never listening to podcasts and planning a new political party while selling nicotine pouches. So the Columbia
Look, it's hard to get sponsors when you are the king of all dweebs. And nicotine pouches are, I guess, next to ED suppositories, the most macho thing they're going to allow you to sell. Because the degraded person that makes $60,000 a year that he's championing, they can't afford a ball tanning bed. What do you expect, Benny?
Journalism Review does a very, very long take with Tucker Carlson. Yes,
It's a long-form interview there, hence the name.
Asking him a lot of questions.
And he's given a lot of answers, presumably.
So let's go ahead and pop on over to the question about a third party.
Let's do it.
I'm going to build a third party, says Tucker
No, with Jill Stein.
Carlson. And there should be a good faith effort to figure out what benefits to the country. I mean, if you're making $60,000 a year, you're degraded.
Again, don't threaten me with a good time.
Your life expectancy has gone down, and the promise of your children's lives is likely gone.
Thanks, Trump.
No one seems to care.
No one seems to care.
It's not even a factor.
It's not even a factor.
About Hamas? I officially don't care about Hamas. The U.S. government should have as its first priority the welfare of its own people.
Who asked the what about Hamas?
So Tucker Carlson explaining here that he will build a third party.
Oh, dear God.
Let's go ahead and look at the context of this commentary and what is going on.
Yeah, let's, because I just want to enjoy the bitter sorrow in Bendover's face.
With the questioning that leads to Tucker Carlson announcing this third party creation.
Jeez.
Are you interested in aligning yourself with another anti-war?
With other? Sure. I mean, it's English. It's difficult. You can understand why Benny likes Trump so much, because they both have the reading comprehension of a clubbed seal.
I don't know if it really matters in war and finance.
I don't know what really matters is war and finance, is what he seems like he said. In probably should have been what was there.
Where does the money come from? Where does it go? Who gets killed? And on those questions, the parties are in lockstep solidarity with each other.
Not really. I mean, look at the vote on the War Powers Act.
It's not a democracy. It's a one-party state posing as a democracy.
Oh, this is the way the former Trump supporters, use the uniparty theory to cover their ass. Dore does this. TYT does this a lot. Like, yeah, we're not fighting the Democratic Party. We're fighting the uniparty.
It needs to be broken, and there needs to be a third party.
It says there's going to be
a third party, and I'm going to do everything I can to bring that about, says Tucker Carlson. And that's the lesson of the last 2.5 months to me. If you vote Trump, you still wind up with a regime change war. If Chuck Schumer is strongly behind Trump's foreign policy, which he is, then we need options. Or else, let's just give up and be ruled by the most unscrupulous people.
I'm assuming he includes Trump in that. So not only in the last week, he's called him a bitch and unscrupulous. Quite a week you're having there, Benny.
I'm just too young to accept that. We need a third party, he says. And when you say you'll do everything you can, I'm going to help build a third party. Okay. Well, there you go.
There you go. It's all over. There you go. Tucker Carlson, the dweeb Jill Stein.
Would you be a candidate for this third party? I don't want to be a candidate, says Tucker.
Because if they did they looked into the whole demon fucking thing, there's too many witnesses.
Before I did the Times interview, somebody said to me, there's going to ask you if you're running for...
There's going to? That's what they said? They said there's going to? They said this to you. So the people doing the interview said there's going to?
The Times interview, somebody said to me, there's going to ask you if you're running for president.
There's going to ask you. Sure. Okay.
And I was very tempted to say, I am running on a pro-patriarchy ticket, just to make sure I gain no new fans.
I love it when he dunks on it, even when he's ruining our chances in the next election. Damn it. Betrayed by my own bitter, angry sense of humor.
Okay. So here we go. What's the point of talking about this, they say? It's the only power I have. I don't have any...
I don't know if it's but what's your goal in speaking to outlets like CJR or The Times, people who are presumably outside of your direct audience?
Tricky plan to win readers over to my campaign for some office. I don't have any institutional power. I don't control a military. So all I have is the
Yeah, no candidates do.
power to talk and be heard.
I guess except the incumbent.
And though it's borne no fruits so far, I remain fully hopeful.
Where'd the fully part come in? Why would you insert a word like that?
So there you go. That's the full context of Tucker Carlson announcing that he will be building a third party, but he has no interest in running for president.
And Cat Turd's taking it very well. All right, now, before he just starts going through his regular slop fest, this is a real problem across maggot town, the maggot sphere right now. Laura Trump sends fiery message to the anti-MAGA grifters. That ain't us, kids. That's not Democrats. That's not the social democrats and the Bernies and the centrist Democrats. That's not who she's talking about. And I don't know who the dark person is, the secret witness to her crimes. But
people are trying.
Oh wait, I think she she does. She takes questions and she does it off her phone, which is fucking
to
weird.
artificially divide the Republicans. What are your thoughts? Well,
Okay, first of all, what do you mean artificially? You don't think that they have a legit point? So let's just be real clear. Laura Trump and whoever her fucking bullshit supporters, I mean, it's probably Stephen Chung feeding her questions, and this is just their way of like directing talking points to her, is that she's just reading off a text she got from the White House of questions they want her to sell the Trump angle on. Artificially?
party's really divided, the Democrats. So if anyone out there is trying to tell you that Donald Trump is controlled by any other country or doing things for another country to benefit them more
What country would that be?
so than America,
Besides Russia and maybe China and Qatar and Saudi Arabia and certainly Israel, I guess, probably Israel is what they're thinking, right?
please call them out. Let me tell you what Donald Trump's goal is.
Heavily editing your video down so that there's no dead space.
Overall. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of
Oh, maybe this is she just gives a little chop up in the beginning. Is that what that was?
Laura Trump wanted for questioning.
Wanted for questioning is the name of the segment. You know, that's not a pot. All right.
You're sending them to me. I haven't seen your questions, but I'm going to try to answer them all today.
Yeah, I totally believe these aren't straight from Natalie Harp.
Let's see what we've got. Question number 1, 4th of July plans. I guess that's yeah.
Aren't you supposed to be there with Trump at his big fucking bullshit 4th of July thing? Layup.
It's got a question mark at the end, so qualifies as a question.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're
Sorry, you think somebody would just write 4th of July plans as a statement?
still
right?
kind of figuring out our 4th of July plans. Is that crazy? I know it's day
Yeah, it is, because maybe you need to talk to somebody in the White House about getting passes.
days away. Here's the truth. From the beginning of the summer, we have been running so hard. We've had all kinds of things going on. Obviously, I have my normal work schedule, which is
Yeah, which is whatever this is.
full-blown chaos. We're up in New York for the summer, which is great. But it also means that I'm going back and forth to the city a lot. On top of that, we've had my father-in-law's birthday. We've had a UFC fight at the White House. We've had Father's Day. We've had a whole host of things going on. And
What the fuck does that have to do with next weekend?
honestly, Eric and I are kind of trying to figure out what should we do. There's a great
I would skip your father-in-law's speech. I think that's pretty easy, right?
fireworks display at Mount Rushmore
Kind of problem solves itself.
on July 3rd, on July 4th at the nation's capital. There will be I guess, the biggest fireworks show ever in the history of our country going on.
Because that's what you need, is just more of it. That's what's impressive. Not the quality of the display.
But we're still figuring it out. And I think the important thing is, no matter where we are,
We'll be able to hear the fireworks.
we're going to be together with our kids, and
We're going to go to Alaska, and we'll still be able to see
we're
it.
going to celebrate this country and the 250 years that America has
Wow, finally. Way to be bold.
existed. It's freaking amazing. 250 years ago, there were people who were willing to give up their lives to try to put together this grand experiment called the United States of America, a republic if you can keep it. And here we are 250 years later.
And even your dad can't totally fuck it up, your dad-in-law.
I mean, I would say thriving. I would say the
Because you have to.
path that this country
Also, the eyelashes, when your eyes are open, kind of fine. When you close your eyes, they're like Andy Rooney's eyebrows.
taken by no means has been perfect, but it is the greatest place on earth. It is the only place where it doesn't matter how you start in America.
As long as you aren't born here to non-citizen immigrants, obviously.
Your upward trajectory is limitless. It's all based on how hard you were willing to work and how big you were willing to dream in this
And how rich the person you're willing to fuck is.
country. And we want to celebrate that. And we want to teach our kids that this really is the land of opportunity and that they're so lucky to have been born in the United States of America. Hey, why do you think people come here, women 8.5 months pregnant, and just happen to stay to give birth? It's called birth tourism.
Right, at Trump Tower in Miami, there's a ton of that. Yeah, the Russian chicks come over there. They pay $50,000 to $100,000 to do it.
Because they want a child who's a U.S. citizen, because it's, again, there's no place like it. This is the
So you don't blame them, actually, and you're actually supportive of birthright citizenship. And if you were a mother yourself in another country, you would do the same thing. Excellent.
greatest country in the entire world. So we're going to celebrate. We're going to have a great time, and we're going to be full-blown Americans on the 4th of July. I can't wait.
Sorry.
It's going to be awesome. Hope you are too.
Fabulous. Yeah. Get to the next one.
Can the Democrats save themselves from the socialists they enabled to take over their party? That is a great question. And
It's so good. Thank God. Yeah. And you asked just in time. That doesn't sound like it was written by Caroline Leavitt and fed to somebody from Breitbart to ask her in one of the briefings. And
I don't know the answer to that.
Great. We'll skip to the next one then. I want to see the one with the fiery message to the grifters. Oh, after Lara likes gold? No shit. What did you do growing up for the 4th of July? Don't care. I want to see the. Is that okay? Why is Daily Beast mad that you're excited that Americans are having babies? I don't know that they are. You're a pro-natalist. Yeah. Okay. So this is the real question. They notice they buried it at the end. That was question 5.
Exactly right. Okay. Feels like people are trying to artificially divide the Republicans. What are your thoughts? Well, I'll tell you what party's really divided, the Democrats. That's very clear right now.
Oh yeah, we're at each other's throats. It's brutal.
You have the socialists, and then you have the kind of, I don't even want to call them moderate because the Democrats have become so radical.
Well, then what difference does it make? Like, that's the problem when you basically call everybody communist. You can't talk about a breakaway faction.
That their policies wouldn't even have aligned with like a Bill Clinton, but the rest of the party, so to speak. The Republican Party, I think there are attempts from once influential individuals.
Ooh, shots fired.
Within the Republican orbit.
In the orbit.
To try to break us apart. I don't think that's going to happen, and we shouldn't.
They will never tear us apart. Boom, 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 boom. All right.
Let that happen. Don't
No, never
be bamboozled by these influencers online who are trying to
these people that you never listen to anyways.
Sell you a false bill of goods. I even had people in my own family come to me and say like, hey.
Also, a bill of goods is false by nature. It's a fake invoice. That's what a bill of goods is. Selling you a bill of goods is you don't have to say false bill of goods. There's no such thing as a real bill of goods. Never mind.
I heard this out there from this person. Is this true? Let me tell you what Donald Trump's goal.
Oh, shit. What did they hear that was true? Hold on.
Trying to sell you a false bill of goods. I've even had people in my own family come.
Oh my God, Eric?
To me and say like, hey, I heard this out there from this person. Is this true?
No, Eric, go back to playing with your little red ball.
Let me tell you what Donald Trump's goal is. Overall, Donald Trump wants to ensure that America is safe, that America is free, that America is prosperous.
Is that a cut?
To ensure that America is safe, that America is free, that America is prosperous.
That America is algae covered.
And he is working day and night, every single moment he has as our 47th president.
When he's not in a medically induced coma at Walter Reed.
To ensure those things happen. Everything he does.
Everything. Yeah. Especially those gibberish speeches that he was giving out at the Teddy Roosevelt Library. Yeah, thank God he did those, or I would have felt a lot worse about gas prices.
Through the lens of, is this good for America? So if anyone out there is trying to tell you that Donald Trump is controlled by any other country, or
what country would that be?
Or doing things for another country to benefit.
What country are they talking about? I'm curious.
Benefit them more so than America. Please call them out because it's total insanity.
Oh, it's nuts that they'd even bring it up.
This is a man who has given up so much of his life, who almost lost his life to run to become our president right now.
Yeah, but that was a maggot that had it out for him.
You have to keep in mind what he was willing to give up for this moment. So don't
going to jail.
Think for a second that he is doing anything other than what he's promised from day one. From the
yes, regime change. He promised regime change, a new war. Everybody was tired of the old wars. We want a new one.
The day he came down the
a gold-leafed war
escalator. He's doing those things. He's implementing them. You saw it in his first term in office. He's doing it in his second term in office. And unfortunately, I think what happens is some of these people,
if you even call them that,
who again, at one time felt like they were very powerful within this orbit, maybe have lost their touch a little bit. And maybe they need to rattle people a little. And maybe they need to try and make themselves important again.
But enough about JD Vance.
Think about things and ask yourself, does this make sense? And is it good for America? And if it's not making sense to you and it's not,
Trump's probably saying it. You're probably listening to one of his speeches.
Good for America. You probably shouldn't believe it as it relates to the president. That's all.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you. I I learned so much. There was where is it? The next one. I have to do the next one because I'm super excited. There's two that I got. Oh, God damn it. There's a bunch of these people trying to steal our Republican Party, and you can't listen to them. And if you don't believe me, believe ZZ Bottom over here. Listen, we're going to tell you how people like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson manipulate you for profit. And all those people are saying we're getting talking points from the White House, and that basically, like, if I lean my head back, I look like Laura Trump from behind. Y'all can shut up.
Howdy, friends.
Howdy.
It's Chad.
So, hi, Chad. 1 second. I feel left out. Give me a second. Go ahead, Chad. Hit it, man. Come on. Tell these people what fucking for, man.
Your friendly neighborhood YouTuber.
You don't look like you're in the neighborhood. You look like you're assessing sites for your next functional shallow grave for your hobby.
I figured I'd do a video, truck talk,
Well,
for you guys today about how these mega influencers like Candace Owens.
What happens if you downsize to a sedan? Will you just be like sedan statements or sedan guy says?
Tucker Carlson
Oh,
manipulate people, because it's a pretty simple equation, and I've been in this game long enough that
yeah, man, you've been truck talking with the best of them.
I understand it. When I listen to them, I know exactly what they're doing.
What are they doing? I have been trying to figure it out.
And I love people, man. I love you guys, and I really,
not all of us, obviously,
really do hate to see you being intentionally manipulated for profit.
Oh, son of a bitch. That's what it is. He's been captured by a big nicotine pouch.
Nonetheless, hopefully this helps.
Or somnoless, I think probably.
Helps.
To be fair.
I first want to establish the fact that people like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and many other influencers out there, the reason we're using them too as the example is
because they have the highest profile, and by putting their name in your in the name of your video, you'll get more clicks. And then, therefore, you'll be able to manipulate your viewers for more views and perhaps sell whatever it is. No, that can't be it at all.
They are really crushing it in the manipulation game of the.
Oh, yeah, man. They're top notch. But in all fairness, only because maggots are so dough-headed.
Masses. But many.
By the way, fuck you. Yeah, this is my hat. And I've worn it on stage. Suck on that, Ted Nugget.
Others. We need to establish the fact that these people,
we do.
They don't even believe in what they're talking about.
No.
I know they sound all.
Definitely not. I mean, I believe him. I believe Tucker when he says like,
I like wood.
You know what I mean? When he says that.
Deeper and longer.
I'm like, that sounds like the truth to me.
About it. They sound like they really care on their shows and in their content, and they sound like, this is the stuff that keeps them up at night and all this stuff. They don't really care about the thing.
No, they don't. They sleep like fucking babies, crying in their own shit.
They're talking about
with their thumb in their mouth.
They really don't.
They do not. It's crazy.
When the cameras are off and it's late at night and they're getting ready.
Are the cameras ever off?
Ready to lay down.
Do you believe that?
In bed. Yeah. They don't care.
Oh, I know. Okay, when the cameras are off when they're laying in bed. You mean the security cameras around Tucker's house so he can sneak out and go to the truck stop and... I got you. Okay, cool. I just thought, he didn't want the demons caught on camera.
The things they talk about. Nor do they believe...
No.
Even probably a quarter of the things that they say.
Yeah, probably a 15th, I would even say.
Themselves.
But I don't like fractions because they're European and gay.
They don't even believe the things that they say themselves, but they're the only ones that know that.
Do they even know, though? That's the question. Do they even know their line?
So, first of all, we got to establish that fact, and I just want to open your eyes
Okay, cool. That's an opinion, but I'll go with you. I'll take it as fact. Why
to
not?
that. All right. All right. The first thing that they do,
How's it work? Tell me.
almost all
Because I want to protect myself from being tucked or candied
always they talk about
or both. I mean, either one. It sounds like it involves sugar cubes and duct tape.
issues that you can't do anything about.
Nope. Yep. They just talk about shit that you can't touch and therefore get you all riled up about nothing.
Now, why do people why do people gravitate toward issues that they can't do anything about?
But enough about Alex Jones's entire fucking career.
Well, because they know that it won't ultimately require any action on their behalf.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you had QAnon. Those dudes shot up Comet Ping Pong. Just because you can't do anything about it doesn't mean they won't try and kill some innocent people in the process. Don't take their hope away.
All right, people like to hear about juicy issues.
Like Juicy Smollett.
And they like to hear about them from people like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, and they like to think, well, those people, like Candace is fighting for me.
That's right. She totally is.
She's leading this fight for me. These people are pioneering the fight against the Epstein files or Charlie Kirk or aliens.
Which might be all the same shit after the MK Ultra thing today.
They're fighting for me.
They are?
But ultimately, I want you to ask yourself the question.
All right, I'm going to ask myself the question. I don't trust the answer, though. Is that wrong?
If you think about, well, who killed Charlie Kirk?
Who killed Charlie? Well, I believe it to be Tyler Robinson, but you do need to have a trial. You know, it certainly points in that direction. There is a trial going on. They've had evidentiary hearings. What am I talking about? Jewish space lasers.
What about, where are the Epstein files?
Where are they? Which ones? The ones that have been released? The ones that were in Liz Wheeler's binder? If you know what I'm saying. Or like the stuff that Trump, you know, his cabinet members who want to keep their job have copies of on little hard drives all around the White House, hidden like a pedo Easter egg hunt.
About these aliens? What about
these aliens? That's what I've been asking for a long time. What about these aliens? I mean, when are they going to take me and not right up my butthole?
This stuff.
Are those even aliens, though? I mean, they might be Tucker's demon.
I really want you to ask yourself this question.
Okay, that's a lot of questions. I'm still stuck on what about these aliens?
What are the action steps for you as it pertains to those particular topics?
Okay, number one, who killed Charlie Kirk? Watch the trial and see if I think justice has been served. I forgot what the second one was because I was really honestly not listening. But as far as aliens go, I'm going to go stand in a field, butt to the sky, and try to entice them in. Try to lure them in with my poop chute. Apparently, they like redneck poop chutes. So if I can just like saunter up to them like a mating baboon, and maybe they'll come down and give me a little crop circle, if you know what I mean. I've heard that they feel good. I mean, I could always drive down to Area 51 and hop the fence and get, you know, tased a bunch of times. That would be fun, I guess.
Which are some of the favorite topics that these individuals like to discuss.
I don't know how often they go to the alien part, but sure.
Israel's another one.
Israel, yeah, I think they go to Israel for. I don't watch a lot of it, but I think mainly it's the Jew thing. Unless they think the aliens are Jews, in which case they double down on it.
What are the action steps for you?
About Israel? Well, don't marry one, I guess. That's not happening. And whatever you do, don't eat kosher. It's either too salty or not salty enough. I forget because it's been so long.
What can you do about these issues?
I suppose some bullshit about electing representatives that will curtail spending on Israel's defense if they don't properly use their offensive weapons in a way that's reflective of the democracy that's given them a hand, namely ours, and not vote for people like Donald Trump who will pretend to be pissed on some sort of odd cycle, but support them at every turn and dump more weapons in their lap than they've ever had, while, pathetically trying to choke off Ukraine who are fighting for something like that. I don't know. Vote. I think vote. Yeah, I can do that.
Nothing
but vote, obviously. Of course, I could run for office myself. But I also, maybe I could lure the aliens in with my poop shoot and get them on the case.
But you like to think that these influencers are fighting for you.
I don't like to think, I just hope.
And you like to...
What do I like to do? Have you been... I could have closed my drapes.
You like to consume content around these issues because you know
I do.
You're not ever going to have to do anything about it.
I don't. Yeah, I do, but I don't. I'm not. I did.
Because you can't
but
do anything about it.
I can't. Nope, you're right.
And so those are the issues they like to talk about.
Right.
What's an issue that you can actually do something about that's impacting your life and your community? What about...
You know what I can do? I can make sure that the toilet rolls in my bathrooms are all rolled over to the top. Because let me tell you something. Be nice to your guests. Nobody ever needs to reach up under something in somebody else's bathroom. Unless, I mean, I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum here, but, it should always be over. People have to reach up under to start the roll. That's just, that leads to fornication. Also, I'm going to raise the amount of red dye number 5 that I consume because I understand that it clears your colon of polyps and everything else, most of the layers of tissue that actually help it function. But, I figure if I stop just in time, you know what I mean? What else could I do that would really affect my life right now? Use a higher octane gas on occasion to stop that knocking and pinging. It knocks and it pings and it pings and knocks. And I'm just trying to drive my truck around. It's knocking and pinging at me like I'm playing table tennis on a giant door. Knocking and the pinging and the pinging and the knocking.
Homelessness. Do a podcast about homelessness.
Yeah, well, they're not going to do that because they think those people deserve. I mean, you could do one. You're not in a house. See, I don't think you're homeless, though. You got a big, rich house. That's why you do the show in the truck. See, that's the other thing. I'd just like to point out one of the reasons why you do it in your big fucking F-150 or whatever the fuck. This obviously, power steering, satellite radio having heated seats truck that you drive to the mall. The reason you do the show parked in the sticks from your truck is because if people saw what your house looked like, they'd think, oh, this motherfucker ain't no different from Tucker or Candace.
People are engaged with that. Well, it's because when we go to talk about an issue like homelessness, there are action steps for individual people that they can take and that they will feel convicted about.
Yeah, but their viewers don't give a fuck
around that issue. Why don't we?
They actually think homelessness is a sign that God hates these people.
Talk about addiction. Look, there's any.
In all fairness, I've heard Tucker talk about a dick or two.
A number of real issues that we can actually affect. And
yeah, you don't understand the nature of their shows at all, do you?
Issues that we can have an impact on.
But we just choose not to. I think that's the key. So, something you could really, if you thought, man, I'm going to do something next week.
But we don't want to discuss those issues because then...
Somebody you should watch the breastfeeding video. This guy's a local. We did. We covered that, man. We covered his teddy problem last week. Go check that out.
Realize we're going to have to go.
But maybe we can put that link in the chat room.
Out of our way to do something about it. You understand that?
I do. But they ain't gonna, so why bother?
The next thing they do is obviously
they
use language that provokes emotion, and they even show emotion themselves, right?
Oh, yeah. I like they have any.
This is a fact about the masses. This is a fact about people with an untrained mind. The fact.
Yeah, we're all very emotionally manipulatable. That's what happens. Because, you sitting around watching the game on TV, something like that. You just enjoying, you had dinner with the family. You sit down in front of the TV, and the next thing you know, they playing an AT&T ad, and somebody on there's calling their mom because it's Mother's Day, and then you're just weeping like a baby, blowing your nose on a doily that she gave you for your birthday. Then what? Then you've been emotionally and then you change your phone service.
Is that people with untrained minds, which that's most people.
Well, I don't know who you're talking to then.
They allow their emotions to lead them throughout the course of their lives. Look,
is emotion code for penis? Sorry,
I've used this tactic.
You son of a bitch! Wait, what? You have this? Hey, give me one goddamn second. Did you hear this motherfucker?
Them throughout the course of their lives. Look, I've used this tactic. It's super easy.
You bastard!
I can talk in ways that will either make you angry, sad, happy, whatever it is. It's a great tactic.
It's awesome. I've never felt so much in so little.
So they provoke emotion, they show emotion, they use language that intentionally makes people feel a certain way.
Brilliant.
Instead
you do realize they're watching you from the skies.
Instead of just simply preventing fact.
Y'all hear that?
Third thing they do is they really balance their own image
with that of the demon they're knocking boots with.
And they balance it between humility and
arrogance,
intellect.
Oh, I'm so smart. They humble brag their way into being superior.
So you have to paint yourself. If you're going to appeal to the masses, you have to paint yourself as.
This is a lesson I need to learn. Okay, how do you do this? Yeah, I want to appeal to the masses. This narrowcasting shit's for the birds.
Someone who is a subject matter expert on something.
Well, got that covered.
Or who's well researched or well read, or somebody who.
Well, obviously about the red thing.
Has some special knowledge. You have to paint yourself that way, but at the same time, you have to balance that with this false humility.
Right. So the idea is you want to create the illusion of a hyper-intellectual dumbass who knows they're stupid, but thinks their audience doesn't. Sorry, I just got a spike pain in my head from just thinking that phrase. It's weird. Those words formed in my skull, and then I think something broke loose. All right. It's all right. It's moving. It's moving. Yeah, it's in my buttocks now. We're fine.
All right. That draws people to you.
Empathy as bait. Like it.
I'd say.
Oh my God, he just fucking roll burped on us. Did you hear that?
Draws people to you. I'd say.
How's one of them weak, lack of control fucking burps?
Say the last thing, and definitely not the last thing, but
well, obviously, this won't be the last truck talk. I mean, come on, man. You got to make a living.
Last thing we're going to talk about here on Truck Talk, because we're running out of time.
We totally are.
Is you have to be.
By the way, why are we running out of time. Is someone coming through the woods and you have to finish before? Yeah, he totally did, Janelle. Blech.
Willing to lie.
You have to be willing to lie. This was a good business model till we got to this part. Now I'm screwed.
All right. You have to be willing.
Are these big lies?
To tell lies, either outright or half truth.
Okay, all right. I can get by with half truths. I can do that. How about lies by omission that you are potentially even unaware of through your intentional ignorance, where you like intentionally don't read anything that would conflict with what you're trying to say, so you don't have that speed bump in your head when you're lying because you don't technically know there's another. Will that work? I don't know.
Right. Truth mingled with lies or rumor or drama or emotion.
Can I pick one, or is it a buffet? Can I have a little bit of all?
You have to be willing to do that.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll if you think that's going to make me popular with the masses, and obviously this points to your attitude towards the masses is that they're all idiots and dough-headed and full of shit, just like Tucker and Candy. So they kind of, I guess they're perfect for each other. They deserve each other.
Be okay with that.
The public deserves to be lied to because they're so easily manipulated.
Because it's an essential ingredient to manipulating people. You can't tell people.
Oh, you mean like MSG or?
The truth. If all you did was tell people the truth.
Oh, sorry. Paprika. He's talking about paprika. You're talking about essential ingredients.
You wouldn't have a whole heck of a lot to say, first of all.
No, that's right. You're right. If you have to stick to the truth, man, that dries up real quick. You end up, if all you got is the truth, you end up wearing a silly hat, doing silly voices and joking about shit because you get tired of debunking stuff just based on the facts because it's tiresome. The plane's gone.
But nonetheless, I hope this helps you guys out.
Some the less.
This is how these types of people are manipulating.
That's right.
Hopefully not people who watch Truck Talk, but just the masses.
Yeah, no, they're already shot. They're
out there. So if you've got
they actually think you're homeless and live in your truck.
Friend who might, be all gung ho about these people, maybe you can share this video with them, or maybe you can.
So they can be socially manipulated by you, son of a bitch. How did I fall for it? He got me the whole time. God damn it. I gotta, enough of that shit. And dun. And scene. Yeah, yes, exactly. Pardon me, sir. It's not gung-ho. It's hung-go. Where is it? I know we have it down here somewhere. Yeah.
Hung-go.
There you go. Thank you.
Hung-go.
That's right. It's hung-go. House Parks for President. You're goddamn right. I promise not to emotionally manipulate you. It'll make it hard to run, but I'll still try. Okay, now, I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but I love it. Divine dreams? ? Man, this is what you do when you're going to form a third party, is you talk to Jimmy Dore about religious experiences you've had. Sorry. The one thing more forbidden than Israel is talking about how you ended up with scratches on your back and your buttocks and your shoulder. And interestingly enough, exactly, you'd had scratches here and here, as if I'm not kidding. The scratches were on his shoulder and his sides. This is what he said. That's nothing hinky about that at all. But he can't even talk about it. Can't even talk about it. because you know you can bring up trying to answer the Jewish question and how Hitler had a point or something, but talking about your magic dreams where you fucked a demon in a truck stop that your wife apparently slept through, that's a bridge too far. And Jimmy is there to support him in his religious conversion.
I have a direct connection to the divine. I've had numinous experiences, and
what's a numinous experience?
A numinous, it's like
it's like an ominous, but it's fresh,
like a sacred spiritual happening that kind of happens to you against your own will.
Oh, Tucker knows about those. Also, why would it happen to you against your will?
And it takes you over, right? So
you had a poltergeist.
I've experienced that, like when I quit smoking pot. People are like, "Why'd you quit smoking pot?" I'm like, I don't know. I felt like there was some outside force telling me to do it, and it was hard. So people who say that marijuana isn't addictive, it is. I was at least 6 months before I could sleep, and it was horrible. I was in bad shape, and I just knew I had to quit.
Yeah, that couldn't be your own conscience and your own body going, you're killing yourself, smoking all the fucking time, regardless of the substance. Maybe, I don't know, maybe part of your brain that still functions that allows you to like wipe yourself after you shit so that you're not a complete outcast in society is telling you, hey, your lungs are dying.
No.
I just, again, like I said, I just had this outside I felt like there was something guiding me to do this.
Oh, this is where we find out that there's a real separation between the two halves of Jimmy's brain, and ne'er the twain shall meet.
And so I did. And, your dreams are your psyche, or as Jung would call it, the self with a capital S, meaning.
By the way, Jimmy went through, did the shadow work horseshit and got really into Jungian psychology, I think maybe 1.5 years ago, something like that.
The divine talking to you and speaking to you in symbols, and we share a collective. So you have a personal unconscious, right? The things that you personally split off from your own personality and put in your unconscious and your shadow.
And then you have the collective unconscious, where you secretly can tap into the Akasha books or whatever.
And then you have a collective unconscious, which
you wouldn't have it.
Joseph Campbell also talked about.
Yes.
Yes, Joseph Campbell and Carl Jung, the two people you really kind of look to for true spiritual guidance in your life, as opposed to who you go to for rudimentary 80s scripts.
And he was my first entree into this was Joseph Campbell, and he talked about how different.
Also, what is going on with Jimmy's septum or something? Does he have one of these coke holes in the roof of his mouth?
Different societies who had no way of connecting with each other.
Or did he sew a nostril shut? What is that noise?
Use the same symbolism to explain.
Yeah, Joseph Campbell does have great soup, though. Yeah, that was somebody in the chat just said that. It's true. It makes your cheeks all rosy.
Life and the spiritual.
Literally, in a way that's spooky. I mean,
spooky.
That's shocking.
And Jung figured that out, that we have a collective unconscious, meaning there's only one consciousness, right? So there's not your
So you don't have a personal consciousness then. So what you said before was
consciousness,
bullshit?
And then the God conscious. There's just one consciousness, and we're a part of it.
Well, then how do you have, why do you talk the shit you do about Democrats or even Republicans or anybody? And look, I get it. When you voted for Trump and you sold to everybody that you were a socialist or a Marxist all these years, and then you realize that if you get taxed on the level that you're advocating for at that point, it would start to feel bad. So you just move away from that shit. And one of the ways you can start to move away from the politics that you're responsible for helping to create is to move into the sort of religious realm. Drop it entirely. Glenn Beck does this all the time whenever the Epstein files comes up.
And the fact that you think you're separate from it is a mistake. And so we're part of it. And as we evolve our consciousness, we evolve the world's consciousness, right? Because we all share a collective unconscious.
Oh, so this is all your fault.
And one of the ways he figured it out was...
So you can I guess, drag it down as well. Nice job, dickhead.
That he would have dreams and there would be symbols in his dreams. And he didn't know what they meant, but he could tell that they were meaningful. And then
because they were his dreams. And yeah.
He was reading about the alchemists. Now, everybody thought the alchemists were trying to turn lead into gold, but what they were really trying to do was turn psychological lead into gold, and they had to do it, hide it.
Yeah, which really upset their investors.
From the church. And so they had figured out what some of these symbols meant, and he saw them write about the symbols that he was seeing in his own dreams, and he was like, oh my God, I'd never read this before. How would I know about this symbol to show up in my... So that's when he started to figure out that we all share a consciousness.
Yes.
That there is one consciousness. There's the one.
Ugh. Are we going through his... Are they both doing ayahuasca right now in this video?
And...
So how can you ever criticize anyone because they're an extension of your own shortcomings?
So it's pretty heavy.
You get glimpses of that, I think.
Do you? When?
Occasionally.
At the truck stop?
People in the course of daily life get just a...
Look, by the way, can I just say for the record, I just want to put this out there. I am not... in any way dismissing the spiritual experience of any human being on the planet, or mocking these concepts in the abstract. What I am mocking is the idea that these two self-involved assholes actually have any connection to any of the stuff that they're actually saying, and that this is a bunch of fucking pseudo-intellectual, philosophical, religious claptrap that they're using to catch audience from each other because they know that there are these dough-headed QAnon types out there that if they lock into your show, they're there forever. Just for the record.
That somehow there's a connection between all peoples.
There's only, it's like...
Yeah, obviously not between humans and, say, deer, because, why wouldn't you make a fucking chandelier out of their heads?
It's like we're hairs on the human head thinking we're separate, right? You're all part of the same head, you're all part of the same body.
Oh my God, Marianne Williamson looks like shit.
We're all part of the same consciousness. There's only one. And so, and we've... split ourselves off from it. We split that into our unconscious. And so if you go into your unconscious, and one of the great ways is to go into your dreams, and
please tell me someone is taking notes. I'm going to need this for my lucid exercise later.
And see what they're saying to you, and treat it. And like Rumi said, what you seek seeks you. And so the more attention you pay to your unconscious, the more it will rise up to meet you. And
seriously, what is happening with his head? What is that? That can't be good. Hopefully it's just allergies. If not, though, go have an x-ray and check your sinuses for a tumor or something. That's bad.
Oh, I've had numinous experiences.
These are the people some of us call the ones looking for spiritual Disneyland. Absolutely, JWB. Yeah. And it's this weird kind of like I don't know, pseudo-religious stoner conversations where they wow about it for a while and then never act on it.
Had this experienced the divine. I've experienced my encounters with archetypal figures in my dreams that have
because they're definitely there to see you.
Guided me. And
how did?
Because they whatted you? Wait,
my encounters with archetypal figures in my dreams that have guided me, and
they guided you to Tucker's house. Sorry, did any of the people that were there say
I like wood. Deeper and longer.
I'm just curious.
Quitting smoking pot after so many years affect your dreams?
Well, they became way more vivid and more often.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And so I speak with a Jungian.
By the way, hold on. He's still been calling himself a comedian who smokes pot over the last year. When did this stop? If it took him 6 months and it's been 6 months, I mean, not that I care whether he smokes pot or not. As we say, let's see, where can I'm sure I have to. I have it someplace in here. Yeah.
Man's got to know his limitations.
Right.
Once a week. And he used to be the head of the Young Center in Los Angeles. And
And then he got old.
Remarked to me, often that, you're one of the most prolific dreamers that I've ever encountered. And often when I'm telling him about dreams, he'll just go, "Oh my God." Like he says that a lot.
Great story. It's awesome. So you basically talk to him about dreams all the time. And so he's just really looking for a way to compliment you. And all he can come up with is, "Boy, you sure do dream a lot."
So it's been a real awakening. And I realize that I'm not separate from the divine. I realize that I'm.
Oh, finally. He's having it's good that he finally realizes that he's not separate from the divine. Other people still are. Fuck them, right?
Body, that I have an eternal soul, and even though this body dies, that I don't die. That death is not the opposite of life. Death is the opposite of birth. Life has no opposite. It's eternal. And so once you realize that, it changes a lot of things.
Like
nothing has changed. Except maybe, is this his way of going, now that I realize I've got an eternal soul, I don't give a fuck what Donald Trump does to the people on Earth.
It changes how I look at everything. I look at the oneness of everything.
Yeah, that's what we've been seeing CSL in his videos, right?
Look at this isn't permanent. This body is not
Jesus, this conversation feels
permanent. That I have an everlasting soul that I have to pay attention to.
Oh yeah, really? Do you have to water it like a fucking plant?
Yes. That I have to get in touch with, and it fills my life with real meaning. And
real meaning.
Part of it too is
this is your most radical position of all the radical things you've said since we sat down. This is the most counterculture thing you could say.
What?
Well, people think.
What are you talking about? This sounds like this is California, buddy. He lives in the Hollywood Hills. This is the most standard. This is almost like if you live in the Hollywood Hills, this is almost required speech for going into a Whole Foods. Please recite your "we're all one consciousness" diatribe if you want to go into the produce section and have your coupons count.
Priest, or they need a preacher or a church, which is all good. The community is good. But you don't need.
Yeah, you don't
need them. Because you already have a connection to the divine within you, and that's where you need to go. And once you realize that, then you don't need them. Which is why they don't tell you about that. And Jesus said,
okay, first of all, yeah, they do. You just don't go.
That, where did he say the kingdom of heaven is, Tucker? The kingdom of heaven is in you.
Yes.
You are.
In Tucker? No wonder these truckers are just trying to go to heaven. And that's the only route they know is.
Are the light of the world, and what I do, you will do, and greater. And people.
Seriously. Sorry, Siri, I was not talking to you. No, thank you. No, thank you. I was saying seriously, which is not all right.
They don't need you to know that, which is why they got rid of the parts of the Bible that talk about that kind of thing. And so it's.
You mean the New Testament?
How
would you know if the part you said about the kingdom of God is within is in the New Testament? All right. Which all right. I'm gonna get aggravated, aren't I? Spiritually aggravated.
I was a Sam Harris atheist. I was brought up Catholic, went to Catholic school for 12 years. It never spoke to me, and the people.
Gee, it's almost like you have no true guiding principle at all, and are just monkey branching your way through the world of meaning to try and fill an emptiness inside of you. Yeah. Ugh.
who seem to be most Catholic seem not to really embody it, you know. And so
You mean the guy in the outfit?
I was an atheist. I thought this was it. This is it. And when you're dead, you're dead. And now I realize, no, this is.
What changed your mind? That's a big change.
Well, I had this big dream.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah. It basically, Jimmy Dore is Daniel, and that's what you guys just got to know. He's the modern Daniel, and when he moves out to his sheep farm and starts broadcasting from there, reading, cryptic Bible verses while, hiding his money in defense contractors on, as part of an index fund. This will give him some, content,
It usually starts with a big dream.
Does it? Usually?
So I had this dream. I was kneeling down in front of my house, in front of the bushes.
Big house, big bushes.
I had a fish hook on a string, and I was dragging it through the dirt in front of my bushes. And in my dream, I'm thinking, what am I doing?
Oh, this is what I think of as my show. That's how I view my audience.
What am I looking for? And then I saw underneath the dirt, I saw it start moving, like there was an animal underneath there. And I was like, what the heck? And all of a sudden, this black cat emerged.
Yeah, it was a black cat. Okay, all right. Does anybody have a dream journal? And we can look this up right now. But I'm fairly certain that it means you're going to get a new car.
All grimy, and it had,
well, he was in the mud.
Had like an oil-like substance on it. And I'm like, how could it be even breathing? How could it be under there for so long and not be dead?
This must be a dream. And how did he not like my bait?
And then it got up and walked around. I'm like, well, it's okay. It's alive and willing. And so,
willing to what? Which direction did this dream go? Yikes!
So I knew that meant something. I didn't know what.
Yeah, and you went to the Young Center, and the guy was like, "Okay, this guy pays his dues. He's probably gonna. He's a millionaire. He's probably gonna contribute to the center." Boy, you got a lot of great dreams. You should come over and tell us about them. That's probably the big one.
I sought out, I started reading Jung. I sought out Rebecca Eigen, who helped me understand Jung. I got a Jungian analysis. And so that...
and how much was that?
Was, what you seek is...
Hold on, real quick. I'm going to just look up something. What would a dream dictionary say about fishing in mud and a black cat emerges covered in goo and trots off? I'm just gonna dream dictionaries are more focused. Okay, simple. Fishing, you're searching for insight. You're looking for opportunities, truth, or something hidden in the unconscious. You're trying to catch an answer. Mud instead of water, confusion, emotional complexity, unresolved issues, or situations where you can't clearly see what's beneath the surface. Progress feels messy because you've been a Sam Harris atheist and now you're fishing in the mud of your own psyche. The black cat represents intuition, mystery, independence, the unknown. Depending on the tradition, it can symbolize either good luck or confronting fears of the unknown, especially the mud that is your brain. The thing was covered in goo, sometimes being through difficult circumstances, or it is absorbed emotional baggage, but it still survives, just like you, Jimmy. And then when it trots away calmly, whatever this hidden aspect is, it doesn't need rescuing. It simply reveals itself and continues on its own path. The dream could be saying something like, while searching through a confusing or emotionally muddy situation, you unexpectedly uncover something mysterious or intuitive. It isn't damaged by what it's been through. It simply emerges, shakes off the experience, and moves on. Notice you weren't fishing for the cat. The cat appears as a byproduct of your search. That's an important distinction. Carl Jung might see the mud as the unconscious, the prima materia. Fishing as your conscious ego, trying to retrieve the meaning. The black cat is a shadow element, or intuitive part of yourself that's been hidden beneath the muck. And the fact that it walks away suggests that it wasn't meant to be captured or controlled, only acknowledged. P.S. This is not my dream. Just Exploring a reference in another video or my show. I don't want my AI to think I'm insane.
That was the divine, the unconscious telling me you're ready. You're ready to go into your darkness. You're ready to go into your shadow. You're ready to go into your unconscious. You don't know what you're going to find there, and it's probably going to be scary.
And yeah, what's in your brain is probably ugly and hate-filled and dismissive and
you don't want to find it, but it's there.
Villainous, I think is the word.
And it's ready for you to now take the next step in your conscious evolution.
Right. Just stop trying to suppress the villainy and just live your best villain, Jimmy.
And so here I am, and I'm doing it.
What kind of reaction did you get from your friends?
Friends.
They don't know really. They don't really say. I don't really have these kind of conversations very often. I have them on my podcast with people. Like there's I have a book club where we read Carl Jung, and
oh God, how have we missed that?
We go through it and we talk about it. It's really it's my favorite thing to
So it's not really a book club; it's a Carl Jung cult.
do in the world. If I could just do that, I would just do that.
Just do that. You can just do that. You can just do that. You can't do that and be ruinous and help Donald Trump get elected and make a shit ton of money. But you could just do that. Hey, if we're all one, you can, leap and the universe will catch you, right?
Just read Carl Jung and talk about it.
Read Carl Jung and talk about it, because that's what it's really all about.
I thought it was the hokey pokey. I'd always been told you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all. Maybe it's just the turning around. I don't know. I'm going to have to go look that up in a dream journal too.
Yeah.
That's so different from the world you've lived in, though.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I was an atheist. I didn't know that, they asked Carl Jung, is there a God? Do you believe in God? He said, I don't believe I know. Because he experienced God. He went from 1913 to 1917. He was, I don't know how to describe it. I've described it as he could give himself a psychedelic trip in a way. He could somehow consciously access his unconscious. He could.
He was like basically Doctor Strange.
Meet the archetypal figures in your unconscious.
Oh my God. A lucid dream. It's amazing the people you meet.
If you're a male,
Jimmy Dore is transitioning into sober Bill O'Reilly after suffering an aneurysm. You're not far off.
Your soul, he would say, is your anima, which is your female, your feeling function. It's real.
The female?
And it's autonomous, and it's in your unconscious. And if you're a female, it's your anima, which is the male counterpart. And so he encountered
So Jung thinks everyone is trans. Just say that to Tucker.
These figures in his, and I've encountered some of them. So I had one of those experiences. So, it was scary. It's scary to go into your shadow and the things you hate about yourself that you realize you've been projecting onto other people.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you are canceling your show.
And so the idea is,
boy, that's like so familiar to anyone who's self-aware. We
Whoa. No, somebody who's awful, who's self-aware. I genuinely, it's one of the reasons why I do what I do by and large with humor, and even my derogatory nicknames for people are jokes, because I respect the fellow humans that I interact with in the world, even if I don't respect what they do, and think in some cases they should probably be in prison. It doesn't mean that I doubt their humanity in the abstract, on a spiritual and / material sense. So no, but judgmental assholes always, when they have a spiritual moment, it's the first thing they see because it's the most obvious.
Yeah. So the idea is you make it conscious, this darkness, this part of you that you hate, You make it conscious and you integrate. You don't judge it.
So that's basically what the Jimmy Dore show has been for the last couple of years.
Because it's also positive in a sense.
Well, it makes you millions of dollars, yeah.
And you integrate it into your conscious mind, so you don't have to project it on anybody anymore. And
you don't have to, but you still can, I guess.
Your consciousness is you become. So that goal isn't to become a better
better
person.
than everybody else.
The goal is
better than everyone else.
To become a more whole person, and not
maybe even using the word holy. Gee, this doesn't seem like an egocentric path at all.
Split off from who you are, and so to me that's the goal, to make the unconscious conscious, integrate it, and even though
and still be an asshole.
You might think it's a bad part of yourself, like I've been dealing with the unrestrained masculine, right, which causes.
What? Sorry, Jimmy is having problems with toxic masculinity in himself. I'm sorry, but no one who wears the kind of shirts and suit jackets that he wears or that Tucker wears has a problem with unrestrained masculinity.
Fights and me to be extra aggressive when I don't need to be.
Yeah, he's just walking into bars, turning over tables, like, getting into dust-ups with biker gangs. It's my dick made me do it.
But you need that part. You need to be able to set boundaries. You need to be able to be angry when you need it. But you need to be aware that where it's coming from, so it doesn't come out sideways and wreck your life.
Or other people's lives, I think, if you're not being completely egocentric. Yeah.
And even if you think it's negative, it's good in a sense. For instance, right? So the part, look.
Yeah, because most of the bad stuff it does is happening to other people,
I always give the example of
motherfucker.
So like you have this, you have shit in your unconscious. Oh, that stuff is smelly and dirty. I don't want to know that. It's part of me. But what helps a rose grow? You need manure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you grow it in your own shit.
Yes. And so out of manure comes a beautiful rose. So you just have.
That's right. So basically, that's his excuse for being a piece of shit. He needs to be a piece of shit so there can be more roses in the world.
You have to know how to use it, right?
Oh, fuck me. I can't. This is some. If this was Rusty Trombone having this fucking conversation, I honestly would half expect more charges to be coming out. Yeah, human crap is not good fertilizer. Is the one stray part of The Martian. He still had to process it. All right. Guru Fluff. No shit. Oh my God. By the way, just in case you want to check in with the same side of the aisle as Jimmy and Tucker, let's the redacted crowd. U.S.-Iran MOU. Fake. Everything is fake and gay, just like Trump's Iran peace deal. I don't know if this would be the grifters that Laura Trump was warning us about. I want to peek at it, and then I'm going to let you guys go.
Us who've been watching this very closely, it always seemed like,
oh my God, when did he marry Lauren Boebert's stunt double?
This Iranian peace deal, this MOU, was one giant scam, especially.
You mean like the set you have behind you where you're pretending to be in the United States? You got a Sasquatch crossing and a George Washington thing, even though you live in fucking Ecuador, because if you come back to the United States, you'll be arrested for stealing from your real estate investors.
From the Iranian side, they are really not part of the discussions. No one called us. We're not even really at the table. I don't know what they're talking about. There won't be any discussions at all until 4 major pillars of the MOU are even adhered to. This idea that, hey,
look, somebody's actually read the fucking thing. No wonder they're turning on it.
Unfreeze our assets. Nothing's going to start here until you unfreeze our stolen assets and our stolen money. Like you.
Oh, by the way,
can even table the nuclear discussion piece.
Remind me to point out the fact that they've apparently got nukes or they have nuclear material, and there are 2 other sites that were never bombed, and they're still completely intact, and they've still been working on this shit all during the war.
going to entertain talks about that until you unfreeze these assets. And also, you promised getting rid of these sanctions. So why would we open up the Strait of Hormuz once again for you when you've stolen our money? But anyway, so that all appears to be going nowhere. And then we have this reporting this morning from the Wall Street Journal. Trump briefed on all-out war options in Iran, but opts to stick with talks for now. And I'm going to quote here from...
For now's meant to be.
From this, President Trump has weighed a return to all-out war with Iran, holding multiple conversations in recent days with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Dan Kane, on more strikes, but has decided to stick with diplomatic talks for now, according to U.S. officials familiar with the discussion. The conversations have centered on whether the U.S. should abandon negotiations and resume full-scale attacks on Iran, the official said. A move
I wonder which way they're going and how close they can get to the midterms. To
some of them described as finishing the job, quote, finishing the job, while not making a final decision. Trump has told aides he believes another round of full-scale
I'm allergic to bullshit.
Attacks could derail diplomacy and hurt Washington's chances of ultimately dismantling Iran's nuclear program. But then Vice President J.D. Vance dropped the mother of all bombshells during an interview, and it seems like he fully let the cat out of the bag. It seems he, on this MOU peace deal specifically, that it's nothing except one big scam designed to give the United States time to restock its weapons and its oil supply. Listen.
So I think what the president has told us to do is use this MOU to sort of refill the world's oil economy, to refill some stocks, and then to see where the hand is.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're so smug about. He's your fucking boy. He's your boy. Trump's your boy. The Democrats who weren't going to do any of this shit, any of it. Harris, who wouldn't even meet in private with Netanyahu, was the villain. Donald Trump, who meets in private with Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago, and he's the good guy through this whole thing. And now you're smug about the fact that these obvious liars were obviously lying. You don't get points for fucking catching them after the fact in an obvious lie. When you backed them, that shit only works ahead of time. Like when I do it. There's a reason why at one point I was going to call this the I Told You show. Oh, and by the way, because obviously fuck these guys. And before I run out of time, where is it? We didn't get to do that one either. Son of a bitch. So much good. Yeah, here we go. This is on Fox News. Apparently, Trump is farting nukes now. And Iran exposed for cheating nuclear inspections. What does that mean? There are not inspections going on right now. So clearly they had more stuff and we didn't bomb it.
Harris, thank you, and we will be there tomorrow. Right now, President Trump expressing confidence in a deal with Iran as the regime appears to make a major concession by agreeing to some nuclear inspections. But Tehran's lead negotiator says that will...
Yeah, they can inspect the sites they no longer use.
...not include sites that were bombed during Operation Epic Fury. Well, I'm John Roberts in Washington. Sandra, good to be with you.
Hey, John, good to be with you.
Or the opposite. You can't look at those places. We'll let you look someplace else, but we're busy digging.
You, and yes, we will be right where those ladies are towards the end of the week. I have to say, it just looks gorgeous, but it is a
Yeah, it's certainly unpolluted by the public.
Altering 105 degrees here in New York City. So dress appropriately, John. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. This is America Report. So another key issue from those talks in Qatar, the future of the Strait of Hormuz. The Wall Street Journal is reporting the U.S. and Oman are working.
U.S. and Iran reps hold indirect meetings in Doha. That's their way of saying Iran isn't there.
Together to convince Iran not to charge tolls on that shipping lane.
Retired Brigadier General John Tyker breaks it all down with us in just moments.
But first, our foreign correspondent Jeff Paul is kicking things off live from Tel Aviv for us. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Sandra, yeah, the latest round of indirect talks between the U.S. and Iran
Very indirect.
just wrapped up
I'm having similar talks with Iran right now.
in Doha, Qatar.
Actually, that's not true because they can just probably see this if anybody's got internet, in Qatar.
The latest, at least for now, officials there saying that positive progress has been made, and they're already talking about when they will host the next round of discussions. That will likely happen, according to Qatari mediators, after the funeral for Iran's former supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
Oh, that should smooth things over.
The ceremonies are set to start this weekend, with the burial taking place on July 9th. Now,
and then they'll go back to meeting on the 10th.
The latest technical talks reportedly centered around the full reopening of the Strait of Hormuz as...
Excuse me? There's more oil than ever going. If you reopen it, if you fully open it, we'll be drowning in oil. It'll be a gusher.
As well as the unfreezing,
which it already is,
of Iranian assets. Iran's foreign minister says Tehran and Washington will work to establish a communication channel to discuss any violations of the MOU. Iran's parliament...
They're going to work to establish a communication channel to discuss any violations of the MOU? Listen to that sentence again. God damn. They're...
A communication... Sorry. Iran's foreign minister says Tehran and...
Iran foreign minister says this.
Washington will work to establish a communication channel to discuss any violations of the MOU.
Wow. That is the most politispeak sentence I have ever heard, ever spoken in wartime. My God.
Iran's parliament speaker and lead negotiator admitted the nuclear inspections will happen, saying they'll...
But will the nuclear inspections happen? Spelling matters.
Have access to just...
Nope, nothing nuclear here at all. Good. All right, well, we'll just move on.
2 sites as of...
Thank God they didn't look at the nuclear material.
Now, folks who live in Iran responding to the current situation this way.
People's demands must certainly be understood, and our red lines must be respected. And if we see that these red lines are not being respected, in my view, we should not negotiate and must immediately end them.
Look, given the history of past negotiations, I am not...
Yeah, I'm sure, Fox, these are totally man on the street, off the cuff, and not literally the talking points of the negotiators.
Optimistic about them. It is a path that our martyred leader always said that if necessary, we will pursue. But we do not have much trust in this path.
Now back here in Israel, they are marking 1,000 days since Hamas carried out the attacks of October 7th. There was a rally in Tel Aviv at the site formerly known as Hostage Square, and many who attended that rally say they are calling for an independent investigation to figure out how it happened and to make sure it never happens again. Sandra?
Well, obviously, Netanyahu will get right on that.
Got it. Jeff Paul, live out of Tel Aviv for us. Jeff, thank you. John?
All right, let's bring in retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General John Tiger. It's amazing when you hear these man on the street interviews or woman on the street interviews in a...
Yeah, hey, dude, don't smile that broadly when it says now urgent search for missing U.S. Navy sailor right under your face.
Ron, you never hear a dissenting voice.
Kind of a shock, huh?
It really is shocking to me.
It's almost like the guest list at Fox. Also, maybe don't pick a guest that looks like the yellow bastard from Sin City.
Everybody seems to be on the same page. I want to ask you, first of all, about the search for the missing crew member from the MH-60 Seahawk that went down, I guess it was probably about 11:30 in the morning yesterday in the Arabian Gulf. 3 of the 4 were picked up very quickly, which would suggest to me that 3 of the 4 were together in the chopper when it went down. 4th, we have no idea.
Yeah, I think...
Sorry. You think 3 of the 4 people that were in the chopper when it went down because the chopper went down? Wait, you think the 4th one jumped up and went through the propellers?
This goes on, John, the less likely it is that we'll find that crew member. But it does punctuate an important point, which is that we make the extremely complex in military operations look easy. And when we have a mishap like this, it reminds us that it is not easy. It's extremely complex. And in the...
Oh, my God. Fucking is like the only thing worse than hearing Hegseth say the shit is somebody trying to like speak Hegseth, Ian. All right. One last thing. I have to show you this before I go because this is from the SCOTUS stuff. and I just need this. Ladies and gentlemen, the most miserable man on the internet, Greg Kelly. Sorry. This thumbnail brings me so much joy. Even if I didn't share the video with you, which is probably, I don't know, what do we think? 3 minutes long, max? It's Greg Kelly. SCOTUS has Trump derangement syndrome. And specifically Amy and Roberts, I guess. Whatever. He's borderline got the Devin Nunes. If there was a frown version of the Devin Nunes smile, that would be it.
Supreme Court. Whatever.
Sorry. I needed that. I know it's really almost all I needed. It was like a little, little palate cleanser at the end of that horse shit we saw before. Just inject that straight into my femoral artery.
Supreme Court. Whatever.
Okay, that needs to be a drop. Excuse me. Oh God. Oh shit. That needs to be a drop. Supreme Court, whatever. One more time, just to make me feel good. And then I'm gonna let you guys go, and we'll raid Liberal Dan.
Supreme Court, whatever.
Okay, you can see why I wanted that just on the way to play. Thank you for indulging me on that one. It's been a good day for the general maggotry. Yes? I think. It's been a rough one. Yeah. Oh, I love that his Mike Gates' laugh is even funny. I know. I don't know why that is. I tried to fix it, but it's super odd. I'm gonna have to get a fancy new mic in the new studio space. Not really new, but you moving a little bit. Just saying. Big doings ahead. We'll know in a couple hours if that's happening. Supreme Court, whatever. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. Friday hour with Rob Glenn tomorrow, and then the afternoon show. I will be having a show on July 4th, radio-wise, for the record. Whether and Phil is okay. I want everybody to know that Philip Ittner is all right. He went and looked at one of the buildings nearby. Let's see if I can find this. Shorts? Did he put it as a short? Yeah, here it is. I'm gonna open this up and show you real quick. Before I go, this is Phil is okay. Just letting you know.
So this is how close the Russians came to killing me last night. This is a hotel. It was struck apparently by a drone. And down there at the corner is my apartment. Another maybe 200 meters or yards, and that drone would have gone into my building, potentially killing me. As we approach the 250th anniversary of the founding of our country, of our Independence Day, I think it's interesting. I think it is poignant to recognize that these people are fighting against an oppressive imperial master who simply wants to terrorize, kill them, and control them. So the men and women who fought in 1776 would find an awful lot in common with the people who are here in Kiev, the soldiers who fought in places like Mariupol, Azovstal, Bakhmut, Chasiv Yar. This is a war of independence and freedom, of sovereignty, and we shouldn't be forgetting. So, one last thing. I won't be driven away. They can bomb us as much as they want. I'm not leaving. All men have to die at some point. It is the course of nature. To die for a cause that you believe in might just be a privilege. I'm not going anywhere. They can bomb us as much as they like.
Phil's a fucking boss, man. That's why we love him. That's why we have him on the show. He'll be on their show on Saturday on the radio show. And if you haven't seen his show On the Edge, please subscribe to his channel. Philip Ittner, 1L and Philip, 2 T's in Ittner. You'll find it on there. The damage is at the base. They were sweeping away the stuff, but it struck the bottom. If you can't see it that well, in that, because he's doing a vertical, but it hit the ground floor area of that hotel. Yeah, it's a beautiful building. Why'd they bomb it? Because it has people in it. Honestly. And all the hotels around the Kremlin are Kremlin sites. So they view any of the hotels around the capital region as government sites as well. Because if they're military sites in their country, they must be military sites in the other country. So anyways, folks, if you get a chance, hit the like, share the show. Also, and join us on Saturday. We have Philip on for a full hour. That's when he can't swear. Then on Wednesdays, he joins us. He'll be with us next week as well, God willing. So take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And I'll see you in the morning for Friday Eye. Lots to talk about tomorrow. The robot wars are coming. The robot wars are coming. I'm only kind of kidding. See you soon. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Thank you, James. Subscribe, everybody.
Crown like cold winter light. Scroll in hand, 7 seals.
We're gonna rate Liberal Dan, so hang in there if you want to bounce over there on Twitch.